You know Sheletta makes you laugh, but did you know Sheletta Brundidge can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Sheletta Brundidge founded Sheletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Sheletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Sheletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Before she became an autism advocate and mom of four, Sheletta Brundidge was an Emmy Award-winning comedian. Need something to put a smile in your face? Laughing with Letta is sure to tickle your funny bone. Check it out, but pee first and make sure you ain't drinking nothing when Sheletta's on a roll. That way you won't have anything to clean up when the podcast is over.
Okay, I could not be more excited about this Saturday. Y'all know I host dozens of events every year for organizations and companies across the Twin Cities. But this one, oh my God, is so near and dear to my heart because it is the Mabel Gala, the Minnesota Association of Black Lawyers. They do so much work trying to make sure that our legal system has the representation that it needs by supporting young up and coming attorneys, whether it's scholarship money or they pay for daycare, they get them ready for tests to prep, all that legal stuff that I know nothing about because I'm a broadcaster. They make sure it happens and take the burden off of the student who really wants to be, most of them first generation attorneys. And a lot of these young lawyers got somebody on the wall that they're looking up to. Okay. Somebody who inspired them to go into the legal profession. It is not Jack McCoy on Law and Order. It is Eric Holder, former Attorney General of the whole United States of America. And guess where he is? He on the podcast, y'all. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Sheletta, how you doing? It's good to see you again.
It is so good to see you again. Okay, so I have just been telling everybody how I absolutely embarrassed myself in the airport because I thought you was Stedman Graham and I was trying to take your phone so you could call Oprah so I could tell her hi. And then I realized you weren't Stedman. And then one of my friends who's smarter than me was like, well, you should have just asked him if he had Oprah's number anyway. He might actually have it. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I was so busy being embarrassed.
Well, I don't have Oprah's number, but so even if I'd given you my phone or looked at my phone, I would not have been able to give you the digits that you wanted to get.
Well, one thing that you are able to give us is your time. You are coming to Minnesota this Saturday for the Mabel Gala. Everybody in town is buzzing about it. Folks are so excited. You're going to be delivering the keynote speech. With everything that's going on in this country, what do you plan on telling the crowd?
Well, I don't want to take away the surprise of what I'm going to be saying, but I'm going to talk about, kind of where America is right now, the problems that we are facing, and the responsibility that I think that the legal profession has to lead us through this period where our democracy is threatened, where voter suppression is showing its ugly face again, where Republicans are in the process of trying to do mid-cycle gerrymandering. There's a whole range of things that I think lawyers especially have a responsibility to confront if we're going to have the America that we say we want to have.
Here's the thing, that's a lot. That is a lot. It's like biting trying to eat an elephant. You get the leg down and that's the gerrymandering, and then you got the voter suppression. And I was reading a story today. ICE is in Charlotte, and more than 20,000 children did not show up for school
Right.
because the parents are afraid, whether they are citizens or not, that as they go and pick up their children, they may be arrested. We feel like, and you were the Attorney General of the United States. There's so many of us in this country that feel like we no longer have rights. What do you say to us? How do we stay hopeful?
Well, one thing I'd say is this, it does seem like a lot, but here's the deal. Everything that they throw at us, we have got to respond to and then beat them at it. You can't choose which battles you're going to fight. If they're going to try to take our rights away in any number of areas, we've got to meet them in every area. And we still have our rights. We still have constitutional protections that we have to stand up for, that we have to fight for, and that lawyers especially have to make sure that citizens can still enjoy those rights. And so, yeah, it seems hard, it seems difficult, but guess what? Our people are used to doing hard. We're used to doing difficult. I mean, you think about those young Black men and women in the late 50s, early 60s who decided to rip down a system of American apartheid. Now, that looked hard. That was a lot. And they must have had doubts about their abilities to do what it is they set about doing, but they pushed through those doubts. Dr. King, John Lewis, Diane Nash, they pushed through those doubts and actually changed this country. And that's the kind of thing that we have to be about now. Every generation, I always say this, every generation of Americans is ultimately called upon to defend democracy. And this is our generation's time to defend our democracy.
You are doing that. You did that when you held your office and even after. But congratulations. You have been named the recipient of the prestigious Fred L. Shuttlesworth Human Rights Award by the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. What does an honor like that mean to you?
Well, I've gotten a fair number of awards in my time, but some mean more than others. And to go to Alabama and to get an award named after one of my heroes, Fred
Mhm.
Shuttlesworth, is something that is especially significant. I'm taking my wife with me. She's from Alabama. Her sister was the young woman who integrated the University of Alabama when George Wallace stood in the schoolhouse door. And so for her, this is something that is going to be special. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that night, to be in Alabama with my wife, that native Alabamian, and we're going to think about her sister Vivian, who has passed away. But we're also going to be thinking about Fred Shuttlesworth and all the great work that he did. I mean, the reality is, without people like Fred Shuttlesworth, there's no Eric Holder as Attorney General. There's no Barack Obama as president. That generation made possible opportunities for me that they never had. And that is the responsibility of the generation now. We have got to make sure that we leave to the next generation an America that is better, that is more fair, and that is more just.
Do you think we have it in us? Like John Lewis had something in him. Dr. King had something in him. Rosa Parks had something in her. Fannie Lou Hamer, they had something in them. Do you think do we have what it takes to carry the baton across the finish line? Because I can't imagine what they went through, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I don't want to get out the bed. Sometimes I don't want to leave my prayer closet. I feel beat up and I want to throw in the towel.
But you don't. That's the deal. And that's the thing we have to acknowledge. Yeah, there are times when you just say, "Look, I'm not up for it. I just can't do this. I'm gonna let somebody else do it." But here's the deal: there are no saviors. There's no cavalry coming. There are no miracles. The people that we're looking for is us. So are we up to it? I think we are. I think the same thing that carried them through the struggle, the civil rights struggle, still animates us today, and it still exists within us. The flame may be a little lower, but it's just a question of turning the fuel up and getting that flame up a little higher. If we understand what's at risk, if we understand that unless we do what they did, unless we commit ourselves in the way that they did, we dishonor them. We dishonor the sacrifices that they made, the lives that they gave, the beatings that they endured. If we don't do something in this period, in this year, in 2025, you know, we dishonor that which they did in the 50s and the 60s that put together the 64 Civil Rights Act, the 1965 Voting Rights Act. All those things made America better. And so for me, I just push through the doubts. I push through the fatigue. And I remain committed. And I am also confident that people like you, I mean, you're downplaying, your commitment and the way in which you have used the talent that you have, the voice that you have. You could have not, you could be talking about other things that are not as important, and yet you do what you can. And that's what everybody has to do. Figure out what is it that you can do in the space that you occupy. And, you're a good example. So I would dispute what you're saying. Yeah, you might be tired and you might be a little wary, but the reality is you push through it, and other people have to do it as you are.
All of those battles happened in the courtroom. Brown versus the Board of Education. So many civil rights victories and human rights victories. And we look now, and there's so many legal cases pending. You're going to be in a room full of lawyers on Saturday, right here in the great state of Minnesota, talking to the next Eric Holder. What do you say to them? How do you inspire them to do what has never been done, maybe?
Well, to remind them that, every great social movement in this country happened because lawyers were at the forefront of that fight. And the point you make is a good one. It is through the courts that we've established, so many of the rights that we now have. In fact, we're coming online right now. Just a few minutes ago, a court in Texas said that the Texas mid-cycle redistricting that they're trying to do, the Republicans are trying to do, is illegal. And has stopped them from doing it. So lawyers, again, won a major victory in Texas. And there are going to be countless battles that we're going to have over the course of the next few years. We have battles right now. And it's always about lawyers who are leading that effort. I say lawyers coupled with young people. And I mean, not only young people who are chronologically young, but those who are young at heart. I'm 74 years old at this point, but I'm still in this fight, still committed. I'm a lawyer. I'm still a person who's young at heart. And that combination of legal expertise that will be in that room that night, that is properly motivated, can overcome anything that gets thrown at us.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for your time. I can't wait to see you when you get here. And then you're going to have to prove to me that Oprah's number is not in your phone. I'm going to be looking in the O's, and then I'm going to be looking in the W's, just in case you got it saved either way.
Well, I got what I will show you on my phone is I got a picture of me and Stedman, because he said the same thing. He always says, people say I'm Eric Holder, and I say people always say that I'm Stedman. And so we stood next to each other. I believe it was at Toni Morrison's funeral, and we had somebody take a picture of the two of us. He's taller than I am, and as we look at each other, we don't think we look alike. But we have a picture there, so you can look at it and you make.
Okay, because I was gonna say, y'all, I ain't never seen y'all in the room together. That's the picture I want to see. I said I never seen them together in the room, so that is the picture I want to see. So I'll be checking your phone for two things then: Oprah's number and Stedman's picture.
I have proof that Stedman and Eric Holder are not the same person. I have pictures. I have proof.
Well, I want to see it, and I want to see you and anybody else who is down for the cause and wants to be in the room when it happens can go to mabl.org is where you can still get your tickets. There are only a few left, sir. I don't know if they buying tickets because you're going to be there or I'm hosting. I don't know, but we got like 8 seats left and they ain't even together. So
it's the two of us. It's just the combination. They're saying, hey, they want this beautiful, funny black woman along with the skinny black guy. So that's how we're doing this.
It's like Ashford and Simpson.
There you
it's
go.
Like Peaches and Herb. We're going to turn it out.
There you go.
Well, we will
Tammy
see you.
Terrell and Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye ain't nothing like the real thing. Okay, so wait, what color you wearing? Because maybe we can match.
I think I'm wearing a navy blue suit. And for the first time in a long time, I'm putting a tie on,
Oh, okay. What color the tie going to be?
I don't know. It's just kind of I don't know yet.
Okay. I got a navy dress. I think I could wear it. I got me some skims. I got my good girdle. I'm gonna get the skims, and I'm gonna see if I can still fit. I ain't gonna eat no more this Tuesday. I'm not gonna eat no more this week, and I'm gonna put the skim on. And I think if I do all of that, I can get in that navy dress, so we'll be matching.
Now we don't want you too thin now. Come on now.
I'll be hungry and pass all the way. Then we won't need no lawyer. We'll need a doctor.
No. I don't know. Hey, I'm a black man. I don't like any skinny women. Come on.
Okay. What did Gary Hines tell Loretta Devine and Waiting to Exhale? Got to have some meat on them bones.
That's exactly right. All
right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. See you on Saturday. It was so great chatting with you.
All right. I look forward to seeing you. And thank you so much for all that you do. You are an example for what more of us need to be doing. And never, ever, never, ever devalue the things that you contribute and the way in which you're making our people have a better life. I love you.
Well, thank you. I love you too, and thank you for blazing the trail. Thank you for showing us what it looks like. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but with you and Barack and Michelle and Valerie Jarrett, y'all showed us what it is supposed to look like. Y'all showed us what it's supposed to look like with the spirit of excellence and
Right.
class and grace and not fighting back. And when somebody throws a stone, you build a rock wall. Like I've never seen Black excellence in the way in which y'all did it and carried yourself, and you gave us a blueprint and an example for how it's supposed to be done that had never happened in the history of this country. And so thank you for blazing a trail and showing us the blueprint for how it's supposed to happen.
Right. Well, you're so kind, and I appreciate that.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna be checking your phone. Don't take the code off because we're coming for you.
I'll see you soon.
All right, see you Saturday. Y'all, was that the best show ever? Oh my God, Eric Holder. I can't wait to upload this episode and send it to my mama. She's gonna freak out. See y'all next week.
That girl is crazy in a good way. To check out previous episodes, log on to her website, SheLettaMakesMeLaugh.com. You can also check out where she's appearing next and score cool merch.
I drew you this year.
Oh, I love scratch games. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, Tabitha.
They're so sparkly.
Festive, right?
You know it's a good gift when it's hard to let it go.
Kinda wish I drew myself.
Kinda glad you didn't.
Holiday scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery are great to give and even better to get.
So thoughtful.
I know.
Ready to go? At Metro Transit, we are. With more routes to more places, easy ways to pay, and more convenient options, we're ready to go further. Go easier. Go faster. Go, go, go. And go. We're ready to go. Are you?
Okay, so you wanted to apply for that Promise Act grant for your business when it first came out, right? But you didn't have your stuff together, so you did not qualify. Well, today is your lucky day, honey, because round 2 is happening right now, and there is $60 million up for grabs for entrepreneurs in greater Minnesota, parts of Minneapolis, and St. Paul. But here's some of the things that you got to have before you can apply. Now, you gotta be registered with the Minnesota Secretary of State, generate less than $750,000 in annual revenue, and you got to have your 2024 taxes filed. More of that eligibility criteria can be found at mnpromiseact.org. So go online and get ready so you can go out there and get this money. The deadline to apply is December 14th.